The biggest question mark about going to college is, how am I going to pay for it? Well, WESTconsin SMART program has some smart tips and tricks to make applying for scholarships easy. First, let's cover some easy pointers. Don't let the amount deter you. Apply for anything. Sometimes the smaller amounts don't get as many applicants or vice versa. Also, don't be swayed by the amount of work it might take to complete the application. Sometimes those have smaller application pools as well. Make sure you meet all the requirements before starting an application. Read all the instructions first to make sure you would qualify before you go through all the work to apply. Start sooner rather than later. Some applications are available earlier than others, and don't wait until the last minute. You never know what could happen. Read all the instructions carefully. If you don't understand something, ask someone. Make sure you answer the questions completely. Proofread your application to make sure you didn't go off on a tangent in your essay and not complete your response. And make sure all the required boxes are filled in. Lastly, don't give up. You may get more no's than yeses, but don't give up. You won't get anything if you don't keep trying. The number one tip is to apply for everything. The more you apply for, the more chances you have at getting something. Look for scholarships that align with your interests. Ask around, such as guidance counselors, organization leaders, employers, or even your parents. Also, check out the internet for scholarships for sports, academics, or organizations you're involved in. You could even check out the school that you're looking at. Some schools have internal scholarships that are available for incoming students. Google scholarship websites or organizations related to your field of study. There are scholarships out there for everything. All you need to do is look. The one thing that makes applying for scholarships so frustrating is the time it takes to complete them. One way to cut down on that time is to be prepared. Pretty much all scholarships ask for a core list of information. Have all your information ready, and even better, have it in a digital format. Then you can just copy and paste. What you usually need is the following: your GPA, class rank, financial need information such as your parents' annual salary or how much money you have saved for college. This would be similar to information that you would put on your FAFSA application. You should also have the school you are attending, and it's okay to put unknown or a school you are thinking about but not quite sure yet. The major and minor that you're looking at, again, okay to put unknown if you haven't decided this. As well as a personal email address. Now, this is very important that it's not your high school email address. Most high schools will delete your email address after you graduate, and scholarship organizations may require follow-up information once you're in college in order to get your check. Then have an involvement list. This would be clubs and organizations you've been involved in during high school, and then the years that you were involved in them. Make sure to include leadership positions and the year that you held those. Also have a list of your AP or college courses. Also keep in mind to have the year taken and the grade for each. If you are currently taking one of these classes at the time of the application, make sure to put IP for in progress. If you have all this prepared ahead of time, you won't waste time trying to think of it all on the spot, and you'll be less likely to forget something. Most scholarship applications will ask for 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 letters of recommendation. These are letters from adults that explain why they think you are deserving of the scholarship, and then they provide evidence by giving examples of your qualifications or character they have witnessed. There are some do's and don'ts of getting recommendation letters. Some do's: ask early, at least 2 weeks in advance. These take time for writers to draft. Please respect their time and effort and don't ask them the day before you need it. Have at least 2 letters and from different categories. Most organizations want to see your diversity and involvement, and this includes who recommends you for the scholarship. Try to find someone from different categories to show this. The most popular categories would be someone from your school, such as a teacher, coach, or guidance counselor, someone from a non-school or community organization, such as a 4-H leader or summer community sports coach, if that coach is different from a school coach. And lastly, your employer or volunteer work. You may have a part-time job or volunteer at a local center. You should have a supervisor or boss that you can ask for a letter of recommendation from. Give the writer a list of your accomplishments. The person you ask to write your recommendation letter should know you pretty well already, but they may not know all of your involvement or accomplishments. Giving them a list can help them draft your letter faster and better. Big hint. This could be the same list as your involvement list that we mentioned earlier. Some don'ts. Don't ask your parents, relatives, friends, or friends' parents for letters of recommendation. Your family and friends should want to sing your praises, but from a scholarship committee standpoint, this looks fake, even if it's not. It's better to get someone who wouldn't feel obligated to say nice things about you. And again, don't have more than one letter of recommendation from the same category. You want to have people from different areas of your life to show how rounded you are. Now that we've covered the pieces that you will need to complete a scholarship application and where you can find applications, let's talk about how to make this an easy, pain-free process. First, create a list of due dates. This will help you know which ones to tackle first. Set aside or schedule time each week to work on them. If you break it down into smaller chunks, it won't seem like such a big feat. Have digital copies of all your information. Then you can just copy and paste into any application that you will come upon. Have all your information available. Again, if you have everything ready and available before you start, it will help the process go much faster. This includes letters of recommendation. Write a general essay about the following topics. If a scholarship has an essay question, it is usually one of the following or very close to it. You can draft a general essay and then tweak that to fit whichever scholarship essay question you come upon. Make sure the essay you submit fits the essay question. Have someone proofread your essays. This should be someone with proofreading experience or someone who recently went through this process. Lastly, get letters of recommendation early and have in PDF format. If you have your letters of recommendation already, all you'll need to do is upload or print and mail, and PDF is the best format to submit digitally. You should be all ready to start, but some last-minute reminders before you go. Make sure your essay completes all requirements and does not have any spelling or grammar errors. Proofread the whole application. If you are tied with another student for a scholarship, the first thing the committee will resort to is checking for spelling or grammar errors. And some committees won't even let you get that far to begin with. Spelling counts, kids. Submit your application early. Technology is not always our friend. Don't wait until the last day, 5 minutes before the deadline, to submit your application. You may run into connection issues, slowness on the site because others are doing the same thing as you, or if you are applying for a large organization scholarship, there may be time zone differences to take into account. Present yourself as worthy of the scholarship, but not cocky or desperate. You want to be genuine but short and to the point. Some applications have word count limits, so select your words carefully. Make sure to complete all the application requirements. Double check that all the required boxes are complete and accurate, and you have attached or uploaded any additional information before hitting the submit button. Now you're all set to get started. Make sure to keep these tips and tricks in mind as you start applying for scholarships this spring. Good luck! Find more smart financial information on our website under the Learning Center. Thank you for choosing WESTconsin Credit Union.